Good evening, everyone. I will not take much of time because everyone is tired. So, I will be discussing about the energy and environment sector. That the India Union budget has how the Union budget has allocated funds to that sector and have given importance to that sector. So, this is the outline of my presentation. I will discuss about what is the main theme of the budget and what is the rationale behind those policies that the government has taken in this sector and how it is linked to the different conference of parties agreement and how that has affected the union budget. And this budget, the adaptation measure has been given the major priority than mitigation measure. Why it is so, and how the energy transition has got much importance in the union budget, and how the lifestyle for environment, that is life initiative, has been allocated fund in the budget. So uh, from the starting of this discussion, as sir has already told, that what is the main objective of India, that is we want to achieve the developed status by 2047, and we want to achieve sustainable development and inclusive development. So how we can achieve that? So for sustainable development, we have to adopt the energy transition, and we have to think about the resilience of the society, how we can, our, as India is the seventh vulnerable natural disaster vulnerable country, so we have to think how our country can be more resilient to natural disasters. So by this way we can achieve sustainable development. And what are the major challenges in achieving the objective of sustainable development? That is, we are seeing that a conflict is arising between European Union and China. That is, China now is emerging as the biggest market of exporting cheap input for renewable energy inputs, and that is acting as a barrier for US and European Union. So that is why they are putting tariff on import of inputs from China. In this way there arises a conflict between European Union and China. So that will create a supply chain disruption between those economies, and that will ultimately impact India in latter time, because that will also affect India's energy transition process, because India is also importing inputs from China and other countries. So if those tariffs and all those things are happening, then India cannot achieve the energy transition in a smoother way. So the geopolitics is also affecting the achieving energy transition in a huge manner. And in this budget, adaptation has been taken as a major as a good step than mitigation, because mitigation gives emphasis on eradicating the problem from the ground level. That is, for example, to fight against global warming, we have to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. But in the present situation, we cannot, US is exiting from the Paris Agreement. So India cannot achieve the target of greenhouse gas emission cutoff alone. So the developed countries has to give do something. So that is why adaptation is the major thing, and India in this budget has given importance to adaptation, not to mitigation. So these are the major conference of parties which have given importance to energy transition, and from those things union budget has allocated funds to in their budget. So in COP26, India announced the Panchamrit strategy, and there it has declared that to achieve net zero emission by 2070. And in COP27, a proposal has been given to establishment of damage and loss fund for vulnerable countries who are getting affected by climate change. In COP28, a call for transition from away from fossil fuel has been declared, and in COP29, the developed countries have taken a place to provide like 300 billion US dollar annually to assist the developing countries. But initially it was 5.1 to 6.8 trillion US dollar. But later on they flipped and they told that they will only provide 300 billion US dollar. So that is very less than what they have already placed. So that is how the finance for adaptation is getting reduced. Like developed countries are not wanting to give much fund to the developing countries. The developing countries are the least polluter and they should get the benefit most, but the developed countries are like not giving them as much fund they should get. So in this budget the adaptation measure has got much importance, and the adaptation has been divided into three parts. That is adaptation in agriculture. They have like introduced climate resilient seeds, preserve groundwater, improve soil health, modifying cropping practices. For these things they have allocated funds. And the resilience on urban areas, they have done like groundwater recharge, vertical gardening, and to see that how the urban people will not get affected by urban flooding, they have also done some schemes. Then in coastal region and water management, as the coastal India is having 7,600 kilometers of coastline, and India is getting affected each and every year by natural disasters. So it is very important to think about the coastal people's resilience, and for that the union budget has introduced the MISTI scheme, that to plant and conserve the mangrove forest. And by this way, as we know that mangroves are helpful in protecting the natural habitat from getting affected by cyclones and all those things. So that way it will help. And the Jal Shakti Abhiyan changed to Nari Shakti se Jal Shakti Abhiyan. That is, they are giving much importance to women in conserving the water resources. And this time Flood Watch India 2.0 version of mobile app has been launched by Union Government, which will help the people in managing the flood in a better way by giving them information previously that the flood is happening here and there and they should be cautious. So that way it is helping them. And this is the energy transition data, like how the budgetary allocation has been increased year after year in the energy sector. And we can see that from 48,500 to it has reached now 80,000 crore, and from that we can see that India is moving towards a right direction in achieving a developed status by 2047. And these are the schemes which have been adopted in the union budget for energy transition. New solar power scheme has been taken, that will particularly helpful for vulnerable tribal group. And PM Surya Ghar Yojana, that will give free of cost rooftop solar panels. And then offshore wind, for offshore wind energy, by fund has been allocated of 7,453 crore. Then PM Kusum Yojana has been also been allocated. And this year nuclear energy has been gotten more importance. That is 20,000 crore has been allocated for research and development of small modular reactors, as nuclear energy has been emerged as the most cleanest energy in the recent time, and India is trying to shift from coal to nuclear energy. And for that it has allocated a heavy amount of fund. Then it have given importance to renewable energy and green hydrogen. Then the lifestyle for environment initiative has also got importance in the union budget. So as per the UNFCCC, cutting dairy and meat from our diets can reduce the CO2 emission from 66% to okay. dairy product can cut the CO2 emission from 66% to 56%. And if we are switching ourselves from plant-based diet to vegetable-based diet, that can reduce the carbon footprint from 2.1 tons to 1.5 tons. Then educating people about the environmental impacts have been got importance. Then it has given importance to highlighting the benefits of low carbon alternative and provide practical guidance can empower individuals. And it also give importance to promoting cycling and local food initiative. And Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, that scheme has also got importance, like in the name of mother nature we can plant a tree. So the important takeaway from the union budget, I will say that we should not blindly follow the western steps. Like we should not shut down the coal based thermal plants without adequate technological alternatives that allow a stable energy supply, because the coal based the US or European Union or any developed countries, they have shifted themselves from coal based to a renewable energy after is like uh, particular amount of time. Like they have taken 10 to 20 years to make themselves that much strong in other renewable energy sector. Then they have shifted themselves to renewable energy from coal sector. So if India is not having a proper supply chain of renewable energy current now, like in the present time, he should not immediately jump from coal to renewable energy without having sufficient amount of renewable energy with himself. Like if uh, the coal thermal plant has been developed from 2010. So if we are directly moving from coal to energy sector without utilizing that coal properly, then that will be loss for India. So we have to think about the coal thermal plant utilization properly. Then after gradually we can move to nuclear energy or to other kind like solar or wind energy we can shift. Then self-sufficient. India should be self-sufficient in making the inputs for renewable energy sources, because as it is like dependent on other countries for import of those things, that will affect India's energy transition process in a greater manner. So these things I think India should look into, and we can achieve a Viksit Bharat by 2047. So thank you.
Thank you so much.